Well, Mary Kay, the Browns are the second team in NFL history to go 0-16. They joined the 2008 Detroit Lions, and we got to hear from Jimmy Haslam after the game today. He reaffirmed that Hugh Jackson will be back coaching the Cleveland Browns in 2018.
That's right. He's taken a ton of heat for that by media, fans, nationally, locally. But he says Hugh Jackson is his man, and he says when he wins, he will be the fans' hero.
Yeah, I mean, he might be right when he wins, but Hugh Jackson right now 1-31, and he went back to that statement he made during the week where he said, no one else could kind of do this job. He kind of went back to that today after the game.
Yeah, he did say, I don't know that anyone else could have done this for these 2 years with what he had to work with, 1-31. That's what he's trying to say. He's not trying to say, that nobody else could do this job. What he's trying to say there is, I didn't have any players, and I had to try to hold this mess together. That's been the message from Hugh Jackson.
And really, that's what Jimmy Haslam is saying now, too, because that's why he fired Sashi Brown. That's why he brought in John Dorsey, because it appears that Haslam believes that Hugh Jackson just hasn't had the talent. Basically said, I don't think Hugh Jackson forgot how to call plays since he was one of the hottest assistants on the market a couple years ago.
Yeah, he said he hasn't lost that coaching magic that he had. And, and he's going to take a lot of heat for those kind of comments, too, because there's a lot of people, again, that are very unhappy with 1-31. But I'm in the camp that you cannot win without a quarterback. Deshaun Kaiser did the best that he could with what he had to work with, but you cannot turn the ball over now. I think it's 28 times, I think. 28 times on his part and try to win football games that way. It's not going to happen.
And listen, the spotlight's on Hugh now. So for all the people that are getting on Hugh, and rightfully so, the spotlight's on him. He's got to start winning.
Well, you know what, though? I will say this, that if Marvin walks away in Cincinnati, I still, and if things aren't going here exactly the way everybody wants them to go in terms of everybody working together and having those postseason meetings, if the job opens up in Cincinnati and the Bengals come calling, I still have to wonder if there couldn't be something that could happen. I mean, I doubt it. It doesn't seem like it. That's not the plan. But stranger things have happened.
Now, Corey Coleman, of course, had that big drop today that the Browns were driving. Deshaun Kaiser made a really nice play to get free. Corey Coleman dropped a pass that would have been a fourth down conversion, gotten them in 1st and goal. And after the game, he sat at his locker. From the media comes in about 10 minutes after. He was sitting in his locker with his head in his hands, stayed there until after Jimmy Haslam talked. The only thing that changed was his uniform came off. He took this really hard.
He really did. I mean, when we did end up talking to him finally, he still had tears in his eyes. And, it was really hard to actually see him that way because that he feels horrible for what happened. The ball slipped right through his hands. He wanted to make that play. It's the kind of play that you expect your number 15 overall pick in 2016 to make. And he was heartbroken after that. I mean, it was sad to see.
Yeah, it's something you don't see from guys a whole lot, to sit there and take something like that quite that hard in front of us. All right, 0-16. I guess because the coach isn't changing, it doesn't carry a ton of meaning, but I guess kind of how will you remember this, Mark, moving forward?
Well, you know what? I mean, they're going down in history, and they almost were able to pull it out in the end. And unfortunately, how we will probably remember this is a parade that neither of us want to cover, but there is going to be one, and it's the parade we never wanted to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be a cold day covering that parade, and our brave photographers, I'm sure, will be out there. They've been standing on the other side of the phone recording us all year. John Kuntz and Josh Gunter. I did not forget your names. I just stumbled a little bit there. So thanks for that, guys. The Browns finish off an 0-16 season. We'll have full coverage of it all at cleveland.com/Browns.